I am not a consumer of my own progress. I am a reinvestor. What grows in my hands does not get spent. It gets replanted. And what I replant today is the fortune my future is built on. There is one rule that connects every fortune ever built across every century, every culture, and every industry. It was practiced in ancient Babylon. It was practiced in Renaissance Florence. It was practiced by every family that built wealth and kept it for more than one generation. The rule has never changed, and it has never been improved upon. The rule is this: never consume the fruit of your investment. Replant it. A farmer who grows an orchard has a choice each harvest. He can eat every apple the tree produces and enjoy a full season. Or he can take the seeds from some of those apples, plant them in new ground, and tend to them until they become trees of their own. The first farmer eats well for one season. The second farmer builds an orchard that feeds his family for generations. The difference between the two is not the quality of the soil. It is not the weather. It is not luck. It is one decision, made once and honored repeatedly. Do not eat everything. Replant a portion of what grows. This is the principle of reinvestment, and it is the single most violated rule in personal finance today. Not because people do not understand it, but because the pressure to consume is louder than the discipline to replant. The modern world is engineered to make you eat every apple the moment it appears. Advertising, credit, lifestyle inflation, social comparison, all of it exists to ensure that nothing you produce ever has the chance to compound. And the person who obeys that pressure will work for decades and build nothing permanent. Let me show you how this rule operates in the real financial world, because once you see it, you will understand why some people build fortunes and others cycle through money their entire lives without ever accumulating anything. When your money produces a return, whether from an investment, a side income, a bonus, or any source of growth beyond your base, you face the same choice the farmer faces. You can consume the return, or you can reinvest it. Most people consume. They receive a bonus and upgrade their lifestyle. They see their investment grow and withdraw the gains to spend. They build a side income and immediately absorb it into their existing expenses. In every case, the return is consumed, the growth stops, and the cycle resets to zero. The wealthy do the opposite. When a return appears, they do not touch it. They redirect it back into the investment, back into the system that produced it, back into the machine. And then they let the machine produce again, now from a larger base. This is compounding, not as a mathematical concept, but as a discipline, a spiritual discipline. The decision to let your money work, produce, and work again without pulling it out of the cycle. Here is the part that most people miss entirely. The power of reinvestment is not in the first cycle. The first return is small. It feels insignificant. It does not change your life. And that is precisely why most people consume it. They look at the return and say, "This is too small to matter, so I might as well enjoy it." But that small return, reinvested, becomes the base for the next return. And the next return, reinvested, becomes the base for the one after that. Each cycle produces more than the last, not because the rate changed, because the base grew. That is how a small amount, protected and reinvested consistently, becomes a fortune over time. It is not magic, it is math, but it requires a discipline that feels almost unnatural in a world built on instant consumption. This is also the hidden reason behind the widening gap between the wealthy and everyone else. The wealthy reinvest, everyone else consumes. The wealthy let their returns compound. Everyone else withdraws theirs and starts over. It is not that the wealthy have access to better investments. It is that they have the discipline to leave their money inside the machine long enough for the machine to do its work. And that discipline, over 10, 20, 30 years, produces results that look like genius from the outside, but are actually just patience applied to a single rule. A man once received a small inheritance from his grandmother. It was not a life-changing amount. It was modest, enough to buy a car, enough to take a vacation, enough to feel good for a few months. His brother received the same amount on the same day. The first brother did what most people do. He upgraded his life. He bought a better car. He renovated part of his apartment. He went on a trip he had been postponing. Within 8 months, the inheritance was gone. Not wasted, consumed. Every dollar had been exchanged for something that felt good in the moment, but produced nothing afterward. The car depreciated. The renovation added no equity. The trip became a memory. He was back exactly where he started, except now the money was gone and nothing remained in its place. The second brother made a different decision. He sat with the money for 2 weeks before touching it. He asked himself one question. If I never consume this money, what could it become? He placed the full amount into an investment account. He did not touch it. When the account produced its first return, he did not withdraw it. He reinvested it. When the second return came, he reinvested it again. He did this for 15 years without interruption. He did not add a single dollar of his own. He simply let the original amount compound. 15 years later, the first brother had no trace of the inheritance. It had been fully consumed years ago. The second brother's account had grown to nearly 4 times the original amount. Not because he was smarter, not because he had a better strategy, because he followed one rule that his brother broke. He never consumed the fruit. He replanted it every single time. And the orchard grew. Here is the practice. I call it the Replant Rule. From today, every time your money produces any form of return, whether it is investment growth, a bonus, a tax refund, a side income, a cash gift, or any money that arrives outside your regular salary, you do not spend it. You reinvest it 100%. You redirect it into the container where it can compound. You treat every return as a seed, not as a meal. This does not mean you never enjoy your money. Your regular income covers your life. The Replant Rule applies only to returns and growth. The money your money produces is not for consumption, it is for multiplication. That distinction changes everything. Your salary feeds your present. Your reinvested returns build your future. Keep those two functions separate, and your wealth will grow in ways that feel disproportionate to the effort you put in. Because it is not your effort doing the work anymore. It is the rule. Today, I ask you to do one thing. Think of the last time you received money outside your regular income. A bonus, a refund, a gift, a return on an investment. What did you do with it? Be honest. If you consumed it, you are not alone. Most people do. But now you know the rule. And the next time extra money appears, you have a decision to make. Consume and reset, or replant and compound. Write down the Replant Rule on a piece of paper and place it where you manage your money. Let it be the voice that speaks before the impulse arrives. I am not a consumer of my own harvest. I am a reinvestor. I do not eat the seeds my money produces. I plant them again, and again, and again. Because I understand that the fortune I am building is not built by what I earn. It is built by what I refuse to consume. I am patient. I am disciplined, and I trust the rule that has built every lasting fortune in history. What grows in my hands stays in the ground until the orchard is complete. If this reached you, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me what shifted. This is only the beginning.